Hello, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome back to my channel. It's Karina from Day by Day K, and in today's video we are going to be talking about gliders. So this is what a glider looks like. They come in different shapes and sizes. Usually they're actually round, and mine has a plastic surface and just like a surface to put my feet on. A lot of them actually have a material surface, so you can actually use them both sided. If you're on a carpet, you use the plastic side. If you're on a wooden floor or a harder surface, you can use the material side. Mine aren't like that, but honestly they work just the same, so it just kind of depends on what you have. Now if you're doing some of these exercises from home, then you also don't even need gliders. If you don't have any, you don't have to invest in a pair of gliders, because all you really need is a paper plate on a carpet, or you can use towels or bounce sheets on a floor, and they will slide just the same. Now, before we get into it, there's a couple of things I wanted to explain as to the exercises and what they're doing. So the prerequisite for today is definitely knowing how to do a plank, and if you guys are not familiar with that yet, I super suggest you guys check out my video on how to plank properly, because if you don't have a proper plank, you will not get the full benefit of these exercises, and you might even hurt yourself. So I always suggest make sure you have proper form before you move on to a second level. I always say form over reps, form over speed, so keep that in mind. The next thing I wanted to talk about is what are the benefits of gliders? Well, the one thing is it's working your total core. So it's working not just your abs, it's also working your obliques, it's working your back, it's working your legs, it's working your arms. It's kind of a full body exercise, but it mainly focuses on your core. And I think this is a great kind of exercise for really strengthening your body and creating more balance in your body. It helps you with other everyday activities. I have a lot of, mostly it's women that come and talk to me about this problem specifically. Like, oh, I just want to lose my belly. I've been doing ab exercises, I've been doing crunches, and crunches are awesome, they're fine, they strengthen your abs, but you have to keep in mind, if you want to have a flat tummy, it's not just about crunches. I want you guys to picture how big your body is and how small your abdominal muscles are in compared to size. So when you're doing crunches, if you're doing 100 crunches a day, you're not really burning a lot of calories, you're not really burning a lot of fat. You want to think about working in a way where you're getting the biggest bang for your buck, where you're, burning a lot of calories at one time. So sometimes doing exercises like a plank is going to definitely, engage more calorie burning, more muscle strengthening than doing just basic crunches. Now there's a time and place for everything. I know a lot of trainers are like, oh, don't do crunches suck, but I'm not saying don't do crunches. You can do crunches. There's a place and time for everything, but I'm just giving you the real deal on if you're wanting to get a flat tummy, crunches aren't the best way to go. Now, I always say this as well. It's not just exercise, it's also diet and your mental being, right? So this is number one. What's in the kitchen is number two, and the third one is exercise. A lot of the people go to exercise first because it's something that's tangible, it's something they can do and they feel good after they do it, or they feel it when they're doing it. And I find that a lot of people struggle with diet, and it's just easier to go and work out for an hour than eat clean sometimes. And I totally get that, but guys, it's a three combo. Remember, your mind first, diet and exercise, okay? So just keep that in mind as you're going through your workout programs for yourself, or as you're teaching classes and motivating others to get into their best self. Okay, I think I've covered pretty much everything. I hope I have. If I have not, I will probably add it in at the end of this video. So the next segment, I'm just going to show you how to do some of these awesome glider variations. Oh yes, I did remember something. And I will do another video with some other exercises. So today is more like a plank variation. Next time I do these is going to be some upper body exercises and also some leg exercises that you can do standing. There's Coco in the background, as always. So the reason why I want to do these in small little segments is because in a couple of weeks, I'm planning on starting off some workouts, like a full workout, like a 30-minute, 45-minute, hour workouts that you guys can participate in and do either at home, or you can, you know, show these to your classes and get them going. So I want to make sure that you guys have your basic foundation first before we get started. So again, like I said, I hope you super enjoy this video because I had a really fun time filming it, and I just absolutely have such a fun time with gliders. So if you have questions or comments or even suggestions, please let me know, and I will see you on the other side. Ciao, ciao. Have a lovely day. Bye. Okay, so the first thing I want to go over, very important, are things to avoid as you're doing these exercises. So number one is, you'll see in this movement here, I'm doing a lot of bounce. My bottom's kind of dropping down. I'm pulling my knees in all the way towards my chest. My arms are moving. My back is rounding. So you want to avoid all that kind of stuff. The next thing, I'm actually doing a really big exaggeration here, but the arch in my lower back and my bottom drooping. So you want to avoid that. If you're feeling pain in your lower back, it's wrong. You need to bring your bottom up a little bit higher. Also notice in this next move right here, my shoulders kind of caving up, or my scap's kind of caving down. You want to push those shoulders up and make sure everything is nice and tight. We're going to go into the first exercise now, which is just a basic in and out. And this is one of the basic movements that you can practice, and it'll help to strengthen all the other moves. So I'm just pulling my knees in towards my chest. The next movement is jack legs. So you can do this the double leg, which is really great. Or if you're not comfortable with it yet, you can just do single leg as well. All of these moves, you want to make sure you're breathing the whole time, getting oxygen to those muscles. This is another variation similar to the in and out. Sometimes people find it a little bit easier to practice this one first. This is the mountain climber. And as you can see, again, there's no bounce. My back is pretty flat. And what I'm going to show you guys here, I'm just kind of doing a little twist. Now this twist is just an option, just to kind of challenge you a little bit more. But if you're feeling like just going straight ahead is enough, then stick with that. Remember, listen to your body. The muscle should be talking to you, not screaming at you in any point. This is my absolute favorite exercise. This is the pike. When it comes to gliders, this is my favorite. I want you to picture like a string is pulling you up by your bottom, pulling you up nice and high, and then coming down into a plank position again. So this is one that a lot of the time people will droop down. You want to make sure you're just coming down into a plank position. The lift, breathe out, and then breathe it on the way down. Now this one here is a corkscrew, so you just practice that little twist side to side that you just saw there to start off, and then you're able to kind of get into the momentum of this one. It's just like an in and out again, but I'm just adding in that little bit of a twist, and I'm staying on one glider just to make it easier for me to control my legs. You can definitely keep two gliders, one under each foot if you prefer. This next move is just circling in and out with the legs, and again, notice how still my upper body is. So it's just those legs going, getting a little bit of the hip movement as well. You want to keep in mind, whatever you do one way, you always want to repeat it in the opposite direction. So it's almost like you're kind of like swimming here. This is just a jack variation, so if you found that the jack was something that maybe wasn't as intense for you, and you can do this for a lot of them, even the in and outs, I'm just adding in a push-up here. But again, notice my form, I'm coming down, perfect push-up, coming up into that plank. The bottom is not drooping, and I'm not using my shoulders through this motion. This one here is pretty challenging. It's the single leg in and out, and you'll notice even my leg isn't super straight. It just takes a little bit of time to get used to it. I always say if there's an exercise you don't like, it's because you're not good at it yet. So as much as you practice, the stronger you get at it, the better you'll be and the more you'll like it. So this is definitely one that I still have to practice. Again, just taking your time with it. This one here is a frog. So again, it's back to that basic in and out, but what I'm doing now is I'm just basically pulling my knees to the outside of my arms, so kind of towards my elbows. And you can do this move with single leg as well, which I actually didn't demonstrate, but you can do one leg at a time. This is my technical term for this move is the drunken monkey. So basically it's that circling in and out that we did before, but this time I'm doing one leg at a time. So believe it or not, it actually is harder than doing both legs because you're kind of like focusing on that circling and balance and stability. It's a really, really great one to work. And again, remember, what you do one way, you do the other. And the last move I wanted to show you guys is the crossover. So notice here, I'm not just turning my leg and crossing it over, I'm actually turning my hips and I'm turning my head into that direction. So you want to make sure you're getting that full twist, really hitting those obliques at the same time and pushing through. Breathing the whole time. Now all these exercises are pretty intense, and again, if you're intermediate, beginner, or if you're an expert, it's always going to be hard because you're always going to push yourself a little bit more. So just be patient with yourself. Remember, it's your workout, so as long as it's your personal best on that day, that's all that matters. Don't compare your workout to the previous day because sometimes you didn't sleep well and other days you had an espresso. Every day is going to be different. So just practice them as much as you can. Practice that basic plank and you'll be amazing at it in no time. Guys, I hope you enjoyed. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.